Hello and welcome to TN Talks. In today's episode, we will be speaking to freelance journalist Billy Briggs, who specialises in public interest journalism and is the director at Ferret, Scot. I'm Tasnim Nazeer and I'm your host, and we'll be getting into the interview to talk about the evolvement of journalism and Billy's views on the changing face of journalism, human rights, investigations and foreign dispatches.
Okay mate, I became interested in, I worked at, my first job as a reporter was at the Irvine Times, a local newspaper in the west of Scotland. I was there for about 6 months and I got a job at the Herald newspaper in Glasgow, so I worked as a reporter in their newsroom there. At that time, I was there for about 4.5 years. I started writing about refugees and asylum seekers, and I just found that their stories fascinated me.
Yeah.
I shared a passion for doing human rights stories. We wanted to travel and do more in-depth reportage for magazines and websites. So it kind of all kicked off from there.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, that sounds very interesting. And has it been? Have you been, working actively abroad with your human rights journalism? Was it been quite regional?
Both. Angie and I have been to, I think it's more than 20 countries now to report on human rights stories. So we've travelled widely in the Middle East.
That's amazing. And I mean, what story have you felt most proud to work on in your career, and why?
Usually, every story you work on, every big piece is quite exciting, and especially if you're travelling abroad. There are several that kind of spring to mind though. The first story we did as a freelance team is we went to Guatemala and covered the issue of femicide. Which was it's still one of the most kind of sinister stories I think I've covered. So that still resonates heavily with me. We went to Pakistan a couple of years ago.
Oh wow, must have been. Was that for a human rights story, or what story was that you were covering?
We were documenting the work of human rights activists, young women who they peacefully oppose the Taliban and they try and stop their peers being radicalised up in Peshawar and the surrounding districts. So that was really fantastically brave young women. So it was great to work with them.
Yes, and it's great to give a voice to those as well, because you're kind of highlighting their work as well, which is excellent. I mean, moving on to the technological advancement in the newsroom, how do you think that has impacted the journalism industry at large?
It's a lot. You have to be a lot quicker now. You have to react much quicker. It allows almost immediate publication. If there's a breaking news story, social media is a great stream of information. As a reporter, it greatly puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yes.
Previously, before the advent of social media and the internet, you had deadlines, which your earliest deadline would be 6 p.m. in the evening, and then the deadlines would be staggered after that. But as a reporter now, as a news reporter, you can react much more quickly and get copy up online, reports up as soon as possible. So it's 24 hours. It's very fast now.
Yes.
The advancements also allow for different ways to tell stories.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm involved with a website called the Ferret. We're an investigative website, and we're looking to experiment with 360 degrees video, immersive journalism, storytelling. So it does offer a lot of opportunities going forward. It's changing very quickly as well, so it's keeping up with the pace of it sometimes. It's challenging.
I mean, do you see any differences in the way that audiences engage with stories online and on social media in comparison to other forms of journalism such as print journalism?
I think obviously online social media, people can interact with journalists. You get immediate commentary, which can be helpful. It can also be a negative in the sense that there's abuse online. But from the perspective of as a journalist, and you get constructive criticism of a story, it can be very, very helpful. Younger people obviously tend to engage with stories online and social media. It's the older generation that are still buying print. Certainly I do some teaching as well, and usually the first question I'll ask the students is, how many people bought a newspaper today? Yeah. 89% of the time, none of them. They don't pay journalism, which is a huge problem.
I know, yes, because it's more getting into people engaging online, and obviously, like video also. Have you seen much of, social media videos, journalistic videos? Do you think that kind of has the power to reach more audiences as a new form of journalism?
Yeah, I mean, social media allows a story to go around the world. It's good from that perspective. I still think print can be extremely powerful. I'm a great fan of reportage magazines. I still think that a powerful, in-depth feature in a magazine with strong photography and that can have a huge impact on a reader. And what you're trying to do as a journalist, if you're involved with public interest journalism, is you're trying to you're trying to create positive change through your stories.
That's right. Yes.
So if for example, if 10 people read a magazine article and then decided to get involved with charity on a human rights issue, to me that's a success.
Yes.
Whether the social media has the same, social media tends to be more fleeting, I think.
Yeah.
And there's much information that people, I'm not quite sure whether they absorb the stories.
Yes.
In the same way that I think a magazine. But I mean, I'm a great believer that social media can help get the message out there.
I totally agree. And what are your views on the future of human rights journalism? Because I know you've covered some stories in the Middle East as well. So, what can you see for the future of covering human rights journalism, and how important is it that human rights issues are expressed within the media?
I think the future. I mean, there's a great. There seems to be a lot of new media emerging now that's committed to public interest journalism, which includes human rights journalism. The Ferret website, which I mentioned previously, which I'm a director of, a bunch of us set this up 3 years ago to do public interest journalism. We're fully committed to human rights journalism, and we've looked at other media around the world, media as well, that have emerged, and it's been a reaction to a lot of the populist media. Certainly in this country, a lot of media who arguably are not producing public interest journalism, and there's certainly an appetite for that. People are willing to pay for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Billy, for joining us and for sharing your views on your work at the Ferret and your human rights journalism. And we look forward to catching up with you in the near future. This is Tasnim Nazeer, your host for TN Talks, and in the next episode we'll be talking to freelance journalist Ada Mamunu, who will be sharing her insights into her journey in journalism. Thank you very much. Goodbye.